We got to get it started
Let's
like that,
do
right?
this. That's right. Let's do this, guys.
Roll Tide. Let's get started on our Medical Monday. So, at any given time, community members are preparing to have their follow up visits, or maybe it's their annual visit with their physician, could be their surgeon, cardiologist, primary care, whatever. But sometimes people are actually meeting their physicians for the very first time. And we have to ask, is there a way to actually be prepared for these visits? So, there are. And some of them would be, if you have that scheduled appointment already in your books with your doctor, as you're sitting there wondering how to make the most of that appointment, there's some tips to help you prepare the best way you can and get the most you can out of that visit. So let's check these out. First one, write down your symptoms and any questions you have. I don't care how seasoned you are at aortic disease, you sometimes think of them earlier in the year before your next appointment. Just have it someplace in a journal where you can write it down, because when you pull that page up, it's going to remind you, oh, yep, that's right, that thing happened. And I want to know, an answer to my question. So any symptoms you're experiencing or you're noticing right after taking medications, how long has it been going on for you? What are those symptoms? How are they impacting your daily life? All of that's included. And those are not questions that are given to you on those forms you fill out before you get seen and taken back. Those are usually topic points and things that you want to talk about. If you've heard about any tests or upcoming test options that we've presented here or other organizations have presented, write all those questions down. Have all of that with you. Um, I don't know. I definitely have to write it down, because if I don't, I'm going to forget what my question was. I don't know about you, Diane, but I find writing it down helps. What do you think?
I do the same thing. Anytime I'm constantly writing myself notes, but from the time I leave the doctor's office or anytime I remember not anything, I will sit there and make a note of it, what I want to ask, what am I feeling at that time, and some possibility, if I talk to a friend or whatever, what they think, hey doc, what do you think about this? Can I do this? Is this safe for me to do? Uh, my mind comes a lot of my thinking, and I'm sure you do too, Karen, is in the evening times when my mind gets to rolling. I'm laying in the bed and I can't get no sleep. So I'm thinking of all kinds of things, voluntary, involuntary things. But I take and I keep me a note, little journal, book, piece of paper, post it, and a pen, and I just make me a note. And that's when most of my creation and my thinking come in on anything is at nighttime.
Right. Exactly. I know that because I see
Yes.
you're up. Usually telling everybody, why am I still up? I'm still up. I can't fall asleep. Here we go again. I'm still up. So I now know all that you're doing while you're still up. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure that you bring your medical records if you have anything you need to discuss, and that list of your medications, because they're always going to want to update them. Now, what I am finding is a lot of hospital systems for the first time ever are starting to join forces. So you're hearing the words like Epic are coming out. More and more hospital systems are using Epic, which is becoming a well-known portal system. So anytime you're anywhere and you have a medication change, excuse me, it's going to show up in another specialty office computer. But you're going to want to double check all of this with you. So if you have any kind of lab results that you took from a radiology center or what have you, make sure you have these imaging reports with you if there's something specific you want to discuss. If they ordered it, they're going to already have it. So less is sometimes best. But your doctor should be able to help you understand the results of these tests, not just say everything's normal, everything's fine, see you in a year. If that doesn't sit well with you, that's perfectly normal and acceptable. Ask for them to take the time to explain it to you. And I know that these appointments are slotted to last about 15 minutes, but I am of the belief that my time is very precious and it's very valuable, just as much as theirs is. And so if I'm going to have questions, then the next person's going to unfortunately be a little late, because I'm entitled to my time to leave that office feeling comfortable and more educated than when I walked in. So any of your drugs that you're taking, the times that you're taking them, make sure you have all of that, because whatever nurse assistant is going to ask you these questions beforehand. Once you agreed, have it all ready.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep. And definitely arrive early, because I know a lot of us, when they say get there 15 minutes early, we think, we really don't need to, but you really do, because there are more detailed forms now that some of these physicians are giving us, especially when we're at that 1 year mark and it's the next checkup. There's a lot more information that they want. And I think that it's important. Use that 15 minutes, make sure any last minute questions you have are written down, and be honest. It's very important to be going into your
Mhm.
appointments very honest with your physicians. Ask for clarification about anything that you don't understand. Your doctor is there to help you, not judge you. And so I would also say, in my humble opinion, if you are feeling judged and that communication is breaking down and you're not having that, right, that joint experience, it's time to consider a second opinion, if not a different physician, because that communication is extremely important. There's a lot of vulnerability and trust. What were we going to say, Diane? Go ahead.
You're exactly right, Karen. If that doctor does not give you the time that you feel like you deserve, because it is your time when you go in there, I'd go for a second opinion, consider looking for another physician. They get paid, and it is your time. And nowadays it just seems like I always say they treat you like cattle, and it's everywhere. I don't know, it's just like they come in, it's like if they stay 3 to 5 minutes, that's crazy. But of course I don't give them the time to leave my room from that time, that. So I take my time. I'm
Right.
considerate of the other person, but I make sure that everything that I have gets answered. And I have very good doctors, and I have very good uh person and physician relationship with them, to where they do take the time. And I mean, we're very close, and he's very understanding of everything and knows my history very well.
Hmm. Right. Well, I think with any good physician office, if the doctor's running late, that already tells me something good. A little late. I'm not talking 45 minutes late, because if they're running late, that means they're treating that patient the way I'm hoping they're going to treat me. So that makes me happy. So sometimes I actually will call the doctor's office and be like, "It's Karen. How late are we talking? Like,
Mhm,
is he or she running 15? Is it running a half hour?" Because then I can
mhm.
judge myself in my traffic, because I don't want to end up sitting there for too long either. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
again, part of the relationship.
Mhm.
Follow up and follow through. After your appointment, you want to make sure that you understand your doctor's expectations from you on if there's anything you need to do and when you need to have them done by. So, if you have prescriptions and you need refills, now's the time to ask your doctor to put those refills in. Now's the time to ask questions about, why are you having me take them at a certain time frame during the day? How is it being metabolized? When do they actually kick in and work? What should I expect? Any reason I should call you if I'm not having a favorable outcome? Excuse me. This is that COVID from weeks ago.
Mm.
Here's its ugly head. Okay. And again, if you have any follow up appointments or tests, you want to put them on your calendar right then and there, because you don't want to miss them. Ask any questions you have about what that test might entail. What should you expect? Any kind of blood work you need to have be done beforehand, or anything you need to do just to basically prepare. And double check that you know how to access the online portal. The portal is your friend, even if you're technologically a little disabled or less able than some of the young folk. Portal's your friend, because if you talk to your doctor, find out the best way your doctor wants you to reach them. Some doctors will actually give you their cell phone. Some would prefer you to strictly go through the portal. Some might give you their email. Find out what's going to work and the expectation of when they should reply. There's nothing worse than going into a new doctor and now you're sending them a message on the portal, and it's like, to you, it's important. You're thinking you're going to get a phone call or a reply within the next 4 hours, but they may actually not address anything until after 7 p.m. If you don't know this, you're going to have all these bad thoughts about your doctor. So set the clear expectations. Just like we tell them, you can reach me on my cell phone. Don't call my house phone. Don't send me an email. Please don't, send me a text. Do the same with them. Ask them their what their preferences are as well. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Got anything else you
Um,
want to add?
I do. That's in regard of your doctor taking time. This is as far as my husband when he went to a doctor, and I have, of course, I went in there with him, and the doctor, Ricky was telling him, "Well, this is wrong with me. Something with the non is back, and well, that's da 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 da." He was in a hurry, and then Ricky says, And this right up in here shoots up in here. The doctor, I quote, said, no, Mr. Bishop, I know what you're trying to do. He said, you're not going to conjure up something today. I said, excuse me? And he says, no, you ain't going to sit there and conjure up nothing in this office today. And I says, come on, let's go. That's just, that's the rudest thing. And I never dreamed that would happen, but it did happen. And,
Yeah.
when you go to your doctor, you should be able to tell him what is wrong, not just one thing. Because if y'all knows, when you go to a doctor, just like, with my back, I went to the doctor to talk about my back pain, and I had trouble. I got screws in my neck, and I told them that I'm having swelling in there. Well, which one hurts you most? Let's just work on one. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a money racket, but I guess I'm getting a little bit off subject here.
No, I think it's important.
Yes.
I think a lot of people feel like you because it does seem like sometimes people are being herded in like cattle. Every time they get another
Yep.
person in, they get to cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And if
Mm-hmm.
we get this opinion that they feel like if they have to sit and listen to us, woe it out all the things that we experience. Well, now we're cutting into that next cha-ching that they can get because they're already billed you for this. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
not like an attorney, they're billing you every 15. But if
Mm-hmm.
you tell them this hurts, well, now they can, which is so silly, now they can examine you. Like, remember the days when you got this great big exam? Breathe in, breathe out. Let me check your
Yeah.
ears, your nose, your throat.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that all gets billed. You get charged for that. So
Uh-huh.
it's just crazy how some doctors are just bypassing a lot of that. And I'm like, well, this is it. This is my exam. I mean, that's just rude. I'm glad that you just said, let's go. Time to find a new
I did.
doctor. Forget that.
Me too,
There was a,
Diane. I'm glad you did that too.
thank you. There was a few other choice words, but I'm not going to let you bleep me, Josh.
Ha. We want
No
to
bleeping
say
allowed.
we want to say hello to Christina and Ryan. Ryan says, "Hi, I'm here to say hi to Joshua." Ryan.
Oh, well then, you know
Hello,
what?
everybody.
Hi, Christina.
Hey, Christina.
See what you
Hi,
did,
Ryan.
Ryan? You got us all in trouble.
Hi, Ryan.